Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Rise of Skywalker novelization that talks about the kiss between Ben Solo and Rey, and how it apparently wasn't romantic. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding Star Wars Coffee for the first time, be sure to always hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And don't forget to check out Star Wars Coffee on Twitter and Twitch, and don't forget to check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise. Links are in the description below.
Do it.
And now let's go to a galaxy far, far away.
This is the way.
Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the Rise of Skywalker novelization that talks about the kiss between Ben Solo and Rey, and how it apparently wasn't romantic. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee. So since the first episode of this sequel trilogy, fans have been determining whether or not that Kylo Ren and Rey were going to end up as a couple. This has been known as Reylo. The Reylo fandom, kind of a sub-fandom of the sequel trilogy. And their whole idea and hinging on this theory of The Force Awakens during the interrogation scene between Kylo Ren and Rey, where he sifts through her mind, sees the island, and is interrogating Rey on BB-8. And since then, we got The Last Jedi, where Kylo Ren offered Rey his hand and that they would rule the galaxy together. And then in The Force Awakens, we finally got Bendemption, which was the redemption of Ben Solo, and then his giving his life force to Rey so that Rey was able to live, being the conclusion of their relationship in terms of the actual characters rather than just a force relationship between the living force and Rey, which could still continue. So the novelization of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker confirms the kiss between Rey and Ben Solo wasn't intended to be romantic, which is odd. The Rise of Skywalker brought the sequel trilogy to a conclusion, ending the character arcs for both of them, Rey and Kylo Ren, and although Kylo Ren was redeemed to Ben Solo, he sacrificed his life for Rey, and the two shared a brief kiss before he died in her arms. This is very mysterious if the relationship wasn't intended to be romantic, given the fact that they did kiss, between Rey and Kylo Ren lying at the core of the sequel trilogy, as they were a dyad, as they were kind of two working off of each other. The Rise of Skywalker reveals that they are both part of the Force dyad, which is very uncommon in the galaxy, and even Palpatine references that hasn't been seen in much time. This occurs when two powerful Force users are connected on a deeper level, and their power bleeds into one another, which is why the bond was presumably deepened when Kylo Ren attempted to penetrate Rey's mind in The Force Awakens, given the credence to the beginning of the Reylo idea, and has been growing as it became stronger in the Force. It's not quite the connection that many viewers wanted to see. Many fans had hoped that a romance between Rey and Kylo Ren was going to be like full-on type of deal, where Ben would return to the light side and then that he wouldn't end up dying. The kiss in The Rise of Skywalker felt like Lucasfilm tossing them a bone in that sense, if it wasn't intended to be romantic. Rae Carson was the writer of the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker, and she subtly attempts to walk that back. And readers have been taken back by the description of the kiss. So here is the description of the kiss, the actual line from the novelization. His heart was full as Rey reached for his face, let her fingers linger against his cheek, and then, wonder of wonders, she leaned forward and kissed him. A kiss of gratitude, acknowledgement of their connection, celebration that they'd found each other at last. But then she drew back, concern on her face. She could feel him growing cold. Ben smiled at her. He had given Rey back to the galaxy. It wouldn't atone for the darkness he'd wrought, but it was what he could do. So that's the line that supposedly says it's not romantic. The scene is very odd. How many people share a lingering kiss of gratitude, especially when one of them is about to die? It fits with what JJ said, who seems to be hedging his bets as to whether or not the kiss should have been considered romantic. It was added when the filmmakers watched the performances of Daisy and Adam, so it wasn't supposed to be part of the script at all in JJ's initial storyline. But it is unclear why Lucasfilm decided to include the kiss and then, in a sense, walk it back without really walking it back. Because for the majority of general audience fans, they're going to assume that Rey and Kylo Ren were romantically involved at that point now. So walking it back in a novelization where, you're really only going to get more diehard fans to read it seems to be really bizarre. It's just a really bizarre thing. Star Wars, of course, has their weird type of romantic gestures like that between Luke and Leia in Empire, and then, the case of Rey and Ben Solo is now another one where, while they're not related, in that sense, they shared the kiss, and apparently it's not supposed to be romantic, which just adds to the ill-judged kisses of Star Wars. So, if you ask me, going through that excerpt again, I still think it's romantic. A kiss of gratitude can still be romantic. Like, you could be really happy that you've successfully accomplished this thing with your partner and give them a kiss of gratitude, but it's still a kiss of love in the same sense that you're just giving them a kiss because you love them. So, two things can be true at once. You can interpret this either way, and it still hold true. If you ask me, though, I think it's supposed to be romantic, and I think that Ray Carson and JJ saying that it's not romantic just doesn't fit with what they actually did. So if it wasn't intended to be romantic, they really need to revise the storyline, as I just don't think that holds water. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching, may God bless you, and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.